Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and let's get started. I am back with one of the stars of Instagram because people just love her brand, love her art. Closing in fast on 100,000 followers. By the time you're listening to this, you'll probably be over 100,000 and climbing. Mexican artist and owner of Ray. Tell me how to pronounce it right, Gilda.
Renee? Renee.
Yeah, Renee.
Re-
Renee.
Or gallery,
Renee
yeah.
Gallery. Okay, and that's Queen in French or Spanish? Or,
Yes,
yeah,
in French.
in
In
French.
French.
Okay. And so she's a big painter of kings and queens. And so she's got the queen title for her gallery. So it's unbelievable what you've been able to do so far, but you have. A lot of times we don't know how our background and our training influences us, but those years were not wasted where you spent becoming an accountant, spending years working as an accountant because you learned how to keep things organized, you keep up with details, you keep things structured, and then when you went over to create your passion, art, any kind of creative world, anything you create only can sustain its value if you put the structure in place, you make it marketable, you get a business model in place where year after year it can grow and compound and people can buy these things. And right from the beginning, you wanted to build a brand, a very
Yeah.
particular brand, a
Uh-huh.
very associated with luxury. And that has informed all of your decisions. But talk about how you've gone about and what your plan was and things you're doing to make this something that will stay as a real entity where it can compound and multiply and grow for decades because it's serial winning all over again. The more you can stay on track, the bigger it'll get because your results can multiply. And what are your thoughts that right from the beginning you can remember that had you thinking about, and when did you get the idea this could be a permanent thing?
Since I start my first exhibition, I was like, I have a passion for art, and I see how people like if you invest in art because I also like to buy art. Like people to invest in Andy Warhol, and they bought his first paintings because he was selling like $2,000, and now that's the great investment. Now they have 20 like millions of dollars hanging in the wall. Like if you look how the artists work and how they build their brand and the collaboration they're doing, and you buy a painting for them, you're not buying a piece of furniture that you're going to sell it in 200. You are buying a piece of art. That's an investment, and I always wanted my art to be an investment. I don't want to make it cheaper or nothing. No, I have my goal. I read about Botero, Andy Warhol, all these big artists. Like Botero, he's living the life. Jeff Koons, he's selling his art very expensive, and he's alive. He didn't die to make it happen. And why not me?
Right. And
Uh-huh.
so how did you got that idea after the first show, and so what are you doing? Are you doing anything particular? Or you're just trying to get as big as possible and get as many contacts going.
I I I'm taking I take the opportunities. Like if I have an opportunity, I never miss it, and I fight for my dreams, and I have a focus on my life.
And
Whatever is make my brand bigger and better, I'm there.
yeah, and so what people that are listening will look at it
Uh-huh.
and say, there's got to be some formula she followed, some
No,
game
no
plan,
formula.
but it's basically you build by doing the right things,
Yes.
treating people right, building
Uh-huh.
friendships, because, like in relationships, and thing you've got to build relationships and friendships with people and situations that are going to be around. Or
Uh-huh. The good thing, before I start my exhibition, I had the best friends. Like I've been building. I'm so focused. I prefer to be walking by myself, like sitting with people that is going to break me down.
yeah,
Like I like energies, and if you are with the right people, me also, if they start a business, I'm going to do whatever, like the best to help them. If you are around the right people, you can fly.
yeah. And so the first thing that you could tell people, there's I want to kind of break these things down. Make sure you're
Yes,
building friendships with people that are bringing helping that you enjoy being around and bringing energy into your life. Would you say that?
yes, yes. Energy into your life.
And it also, they're probably the kind of people who actually know things that you can learn from them too, right?
Yes, yes.
And the idea of you want people that you feel happy helping, and
Uh-huh.
you know they will feel happy sharing what they know, their
Yes,
advice with you, so you can kind of grow up together. And
yes.
you benefited from that along the way. You said you had your friends come in and support you at your first event,
Yes.
and talk about how some of those key things early on made such a difference that gave you advantages.
Uh-huh. And if you hear our conversation is just about build us up and next project, and you should say this, and I'm going to connect you with this one. Like that's the kind of energy that I like. I'm not gossip and talking about another people. No, I'm business 100%.
Yeah, so you have a purpose to what you're
Uh-huh.
doing there. And then the other thing is to keep your eyes open and
Yes.
look for whatever opportunities come
Uh-huh.
across. And sometimes the smallest thing can turn into something big. Have you found that happen?
Yes. Yes.
How did you get into how did you find that get into Vegas?
I make this event in Mexico City, but they just give me the venue. I could make nothing, but I throw a big party. And then I make another event in Art Basel. And over there, I have a friend that he works for the Caesar Palace. And then there's a gallery in Vegas that they invite me to make an event in Las Vegas, and I was like, oh great! And I was like, I should make the after party in the Caesar Palace. So I called my friend and I said to him, okay, I'm going to be make an event in the gallery, and all my friends are going to be there. Can we get a table in the nightclub? And then he called to the Caesar Palace. Oh, let me figure out. And then after the next 3 days was the Caesar Palace and the Bellagio and the excess sending me mails like, here they like it that I'm a woman and I'm Mexican, and was Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, oh my god. And that's how I get into the Caesar Palace.
Timing, timing.
Yes,
Well,
timing.
what how are you how far down the road do you look? You know,
Like,
corporations like 5 and 10 year plans and everything, and most businesses when they start, they said that's a joke. I'm just trying to get to the end of the month. You know,
uh,
and how do you look at planning and uh, you know how do you look at how can I get the most out of the next year? Do you look at a year, or how can I get the most out of today?
like I never expect that Caesar Palace invite me to make an event, but I make the best video promotion. I invite all my friends. Everybody was gorgeous. Like they was so happy with me after the event that they invite me the next year, and they invite me the next year because like even this friend from my friend from the hotel in Mexico City, they just told me this is the venue, and I make wow, and I make a lot of promotion in his hotel, and I can be back.
Unbelievable. Well, you're such an encouragement and such a bright star. I know that you're going to be making events, making headway, making a name for yourself for years to come. And it's going to be fun to see it happen. And now I know what's happening behind the scenes. because you have to have solid foundation. You have to have the right beliefs, because talk about, even as beautiful as you are, your website, everything is beautiful. There, everyone has critics, and uh, how do you deal with critics?
I'm I don't know. I'm not critics like people. The good thing, like when I make an event, people talk good about that, and I'm just focused in my business and in my art, and I try to do the best. I want, when I make an event, I want people to talk about that the next day and the next day, and to say to everybody how great it was. I want to make an experience,
Yeah,
not just
see, you just gave the perfect answer to that. You didn't know that I was going to ask you that,
okay.
but you just gave the perfect answer, because the answer, you have people that are afraid. You know, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid this will happen. I'm afraid that'll go wrong. And the deal is, it's basically an excuse, because the people who accomplish things like Gilda, regardless what arena of life, and that's why it's so great to hear it from the art world, you can't accomplish anything if you go through life afraid. You've got to be on the attack. You've got to be more excited about what you're going to do and how much fun it's going to be, and than you are about, like, what anyone would criticize in your mind. It's like, what are they just, they don't, that doesn't even matter. I mean, those people are, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? It's like, I'm going to bury them, I'm going to
yes, yes,
bury them with excitement. I'm going to bury them with energy. By the time
yes,
they sit and they criticize it, I would have done 3 or 4 or 5 more new things. I don't care what they say. I'm doing it to the level where I know it's going to be great. And that is another thing that we'll probably close out on this, Gilda, is like, people say, how do I know when I've done enough? How when is enough? It's enough. Like I can tell you do your events and you add video photography and names and people bring into this, that,
yes.
and you do everything, and you do it until you know in your mind that it's going to be a smash hit before you even do it. Isn't that right?
Yes, yes, it's like that.
Like, the first thing is you got to put enough energy and effort into it where, like you were talking about, even when you were doing the paintings, the 20 paintings for the first event, you put you put your energy, your focus into things you were proud of.
Yes.
They each were, something that you would stand behind, even in the art, before you even started putting the events. And so the thing is, folks, in your life, in your business, in the areas where you're looking to make an impact, when you get an opportunity, you put everything you've got into it, so you know that it's going to be an incredible success
Uh-huh.
before it even happens. And
Yes.
that's how you know you've done enough. And you say, well, I don't know if I have enough skills. Like like if you're an artist or a musician, I don't know if well, then get enough skills, work harder, put in
Yes.
8-hour days practicing, get better,
Yes.
work,
Yes.
get to the point where inside, yourself, I'm good enough.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yes.
plenty good. I paid my dues. And now it's a matter of, when I get in those situations, I'm not nervous and doubting. I'm thinking about how much fun it's going to be to do it, to have my own business, to get the promotion, to go and make those things happen. So, Gilda, without even knowing, you have really rung the bell with the perfect responses in so many areas of questions that people have about moving up. And that's what the podcast is all about. Million Dollar Mastermind is getting behind the scenes where people can hear us talk about the real world, and they can discover for themselves there's no excuse not to do something great if it's in your heart to do it. And as a last word, Gilda, I'm going to ask you to make a final comment on that, or on anything else you want to leave people with.
Fight for your dreams. Don't wait for somebody to knock the door and let's go. No, you wake up, fight for your dreams, and let's go.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm so proud of you, so excited about what you're doing, and I'm going to really enjoy your progress moving forward. And I want to hear about Venice, and I want to see that glass sculpture you do. I know it's going to be
Yes,
spectacular.
let's go to Venice.
All
I want
right.
invitation.
Yes, you've got to keep me posted. All,
Maybe we can do something before in Aspen.
yeah, all right. That sounds
Yes.
great. Thanks so
Okay.
much. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Gilda. Look forward to talking with you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind with me, Larry Weidel. If I've helped you in any way, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. For more information like this, listen to our other Million Dollar Mastermind episodes and check out my Weidel Academy YouTube channel and visit us on WeidelOnWinning.com. I'm the Million Dollar Mastermind, and until next time, go, go, go.